finds it. Moving on to the weird.
Who's Danny?
Warriors, Grizzlies.
Who's Danny?
My friend. Slingshot screen. Not an overstatement. This feels like it could change basketball. Broussard, I think we just saw basketball be revolutionized right in front of us during a random screen.
Ring around the Rosie. Right.
No, it almost
good.
feels like
That's
it's
a
either
good play. It's
illegal
deceptive.
or we're on the verge of something brand new. Warriors win by 30. Wonderful. Brewers in Atlanta on Friday. Acuna with a blast to center field. Falls down in the process. It's his first home run of the year, 450 feet. I didn't get the exit velocity. I'm sorry. Tune into, I don't care for the exit velocity. Moving on to the weird. More Acuna. This one from Saturday. Running around the bases. So fast. There goes a shoe. Shoe is missing. More on this game right now. And this is a momentous occasion.
Wow.
A triple. The trifecta for Acuna. Now he hits another home run. Second of the weekend if you count Friday part of the weekend. And guess what he does? Oh, break out your little Lobo satchel. That's the next step. Hits the silencer. Braves take 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, and that's a weird and wonderful front.
What a pendant he's wearing.
He's wow.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's dig into a little Celtics stumble back on Saturday. Celtics buck game 3, last 10 seconds. Boston down 3. Marcus Smart trying to get a shot off. Fouled by Drew Holiday, but the refs called that a non-shooting foul. Was he trying to take a shot there? Sort of. Deemed he wasn't in the act of shooting. That meant only 2 free throws. You guys know how that whole last couple seconds figured to be. Milwaukee held on to the late lead. They won. They took a 2-1 series lead, but there are 2 sides to every story. Here's Marcus Smart with his.
What you guys see? I would like somebody to answer that. I mean, that's all I got to say. I mean, we need 3 with 4.6 seconds. They know we need 3. We know they're going to foul. And it's not like he got me when it was down low. I was already in my shooting motion. I thought it was 3 free throws. They said it wasn't. Deal with it. Wouldn't make sense to do a rip-through move on the 3-point line when you got a clear shot for 3 down 3.
Is that the explanation they gave you?
Nope. They didn't give me any explanation. When I went to ask, they looked at me funny, went to the free throw line.
I'm sure it was a clear shot for 3. Wilds, how should Celtics fans feel about their Game 3 loss?
Sneaky good. And Jenna, you know that I grew up loving Fenway Park and loving my dear New England Patriots. But I have to admit, I didn't think it was a shooting foul. I was like, it wasn't in your motion. I think that's 2 shots. Why don't you bounce it off the rim there and let Al Horford try to get a rebound? I thought it was a fine call. But here's the bigger story. Every visiting team lost this weekend. And here's how they did it. The Suns lost by 19 after winning 11-0 again, going 11-0 against the Mavs. They finally lost some games. Combined score of 19. The Heat lost by a combined score of 28. The Grizzlies lost by 30 points, and John Morant was injured. The Celtics had a chance to send it to overtime if the game was a half a second longer. And Tatum played terribly. Giannis played great. So out of all the playoff teams, you know I like a nice moral victory, Nick. Yeah, I like to look at the world
Moral victory
full.
Monday.
Like, if I'm the Celtics,
yeah,
it's a moral victory. If you're just like, we can send it to overtime, we missed it. That's fine. It's not the Grizzlies. It's not the Heat. It's not the Suns. The Celtics were this close. Now, granted, Giannis figured it out. I think we can put the Giannis kryptonite talk away. Giannis seemed to have figured it out. But if you get a little bit more out of superstar Jason Tatum, we're totally fine. So I think Celtics fans should feel pretty good.
Okay. Here's the problem, Wilds. The Heat and the Suns had the ability to lose at home because they went on the road, because they won both their home games. The Celtics, on the other hand, split their home games, so losing on the road is a little more damaging. But I'm all good with moral victories. And, if I hadn't had it spit back in my face last week, I might even today offer Broussard an olive branch. Say, hey, you want to go with clearly the better team, with clearly the best player, but too late. That's done. No more olive branches until next year's playoffs. They're done. Don't care what circumstances arise. I'm offering nothing. Because another one of the things your buddy Nick Wright, got exactly right, if I may say, was that the Celtics hadn't solved anything with Giannis. Giannis was missing bunnies. You guys showed me a fancy shot chart. You were like, oh my God, he's missing all these shots. And I was like, yeah, shots he'll make. I actually feel good about that. Another thing I said to you was, Milwaukee went into the series up 2-0 before it started because they will get 2 victories off the power of Giannis alone. There's one of them. Check mark that. And you know what's going to happen tonight, Brew, for your Celtics? Milwaukee's up 2-1 despite shooting 28% from 3. Okay, well then you really should change your pick because you know what's going to happen tonight? The inevitable 3-point explosion. I don't know who's calling the game, but let's assume it's Kevin Harlan. You know what he's going to say? Bobby Portis is unconscious. Pat Connaughton from Chicago, Illinois. You're going to hear a lot of that. And all of a sudden, it's going to be like, wait, did Milwaukee hit 13 first-half threes? Oh, they did? Oh, can they win this game with Giannis only scoring 25? Oh, they can. And if they do that tonight, then it's over because Giannis has another 40 ball in him. So this is bad news for, your adopted Celtics. Sorry to tell you, they have no answer for Giannis. They never had an answer for Giannis. Milwaukee hasn't even played that well, and they're up 2-1.
All right, first of all, that was the worst Kevin Harlan impression I've ever heard, okay? You were not a man possessed. All right.
All over that.
I don't think so. All right, but anyway, it is a must-win tonight. There's no doubt about it. But I'm more with Wilds. Nick, you said it. Giannis is going to explode for 40. Heck, I said it on Friday, right? I don't expect him to stay under 40% shooting. But he was only 16 for 30. You'll take it. That's great. It's better than 50%. But we're used to seeing him 55, 60%. So they still played very good defense. He's a great player, so he got his. Drew Holiday got his. And Jason Tatum, to Wilds' point, was horrible. He may not make it in. I can't wait to see if he gets in Club Superstar. That was at his worst playoff performance of the season by far. And the difference was he had the one bad game against Brooklyn, game 2, I think it was, but when he shot like 5 for 16. But he still had 10 assists. Yesterday this weekend, he did nothing. He had one rebound, 3 assists. Marcus Smart was bad too. And so I'm with Wilds. If I'm the Celtics, look, your backs are against the wall, so you never feel good about that. They do have to win tonight. But Giannis was great. Drew Holiday scored 25. Your best player was horrible, and you still came within a whisker of winning that game. So I do think the Celtics are in good position. I think they win. Yeah, I think they win tonight. And then, they go back to Boston 2-2. Like I said, 7-game series, Nick. And keep your stinking olive branch. Don't even mention it. Don't even bring it up anymore.
Listen, you mentioned it. Tatum, 10 points. Missed all 6 of his 3-point attempts. He even said afterwards, I got to be better. I'd even throw a much in there for Jason Tatum. Nick.
Oh.
So we talk about this club superstar, right? Who's getting in, who's not getting in, your best players. Is Tatum's superstar status at risk on the heels of tomorrow's grand opening?
Well, listen, he's picking a really awful time to be slumping, especially when Jimmy Butler, who's waiting right in the same spot of the line as him, is surging. Jimmy, even in a loss, with a 40-piece. Jason Tatum all of a sudden finding out the game gets a little harder when you're not playing the pickup squad that is known as the Brooklyn Nets. And Wilds, here's why I don't think you can be like, well, it was close and, our best player had a bad game. Jason Tatum, we have played in this series 12 quarters of basketball. Jason Tatum's been good in 2 of them. I don't know if we have the graphic or not to show you, but Jason Tatum was awesome the second half of Game 2, and the rest of the series has been terrible, including Game 2 that they won. He was awful in the first half. He was bad in Game 1. He was awful the first half of game 2, and Saturday was maybe the worst playoff game of his career. Is it maybe possible, Wilds, that Jason Tatum is getting a little taste of the medicine he gave Kevin Durant? We're going to be physical. We're going to bump you. We're going to throw bodies at you. We're going to have long, athletic defenders on you, and you're going to miss some open shots. So, listen, superstar, what he did in that series and what he did over the last 4 months of the season might have punched his ticket already. We'll see what he does tonight before tomorrow's grand opening of Club Superstar. But I don't think Celtics fans should feel confident that Tatum's about to be dominant the rest of the series. He's been bad for 87% of the series.
Okay, so I have a side consulting business on how to get into Club Superstar. Nick runs a tough door at Club Superstar, so a lot of people, slip me a little money on the side and be like, hey, what do I need to do? And I say this is what I told Jason Tatum. I said, Jason, every one of the superstars in Club Superstar have had a bad shooting night. You still have to affect the game. So if you can't hit from 3, get to the free throw line. Bring Drew Holiday in there, do a little pump fake, up and under type move, get a foul. He only took 3 free throws yesterday, Brew, so he didn't necessarily take my advice. But if he runs cold again tonight, I hope that he just gets to the line, starts seeing the ball go through the net a little bit, and then gets in rhythm so he can be granted access to Club Superstar grand opening tomorrow.
Look, he's not as good as Giannis. But just like we all expected Giannis to break through, and he did in Game 3, that's what's going to happen with Tatum. I'm not expecting him to have 40, but I do think he'll break through, have a big enough game for them to even this series out. They need him and Jaylen Brown playing good in the same game to win.